Me, I would always judge him by if he scored or not, but actually last night was the first time where I said, okay, even though he didn't score, you have to say he was one of the best players on the ice.
Yeah. But he did score against Detroit and Edmonton?
I think just Detroit.
Just
I think he got
Detroit.
an assist maybe in Edmonton.
Yeah, he assisted on Bennett's.
And you mentioned Goudreau's point streak. He had 22 points in 11 games.
22 points.
So that's 2 points a game on average. Pretty good.
Yeah, seeing it come to an end.
And I did some checking of the longest point streaks in NHL history, just to see where it stacks up. And of course,
Gretzky.
yeah, you can't compare this decade to the 80s, but it's still fun to see. And the number one point streak is actually Paul Coffey.
Paul Goff.
He had, in 16 games, 55 points.
Holy shit.
Yes, that's unreal.
A hat trick every third game.
Pretty much. And the second best was Mario Lemieux. He had, in 21 games, 59 points. So both are ridiculous. In today's era, you'll never, even get close to that. There's some other ones here. Gretzky had 63 and 20. Yzerman had 65 and 29. Yeah.
Find anything we can relate to.
The only one, I just have the top 10 here, and the only one that's not in the 80s is Matt Sundin in the early 90s, where he had 46 and 21. So, yeah, we can't compare eras, but it's still, just to think of those numbers, like imagine a player nowadays getting 55 points in 25 games. It's just...
Yeah, no kidding. And point streaks these days are usually players just clinging on to an assist or like a one goal, multi-point efforts, of course, along the way, but not to the same extent that you're reading off those numbers.
No, those are 80s numbers for sure.
Yeah.
And speaking of 80s, before Carolina, we played Edmonton.
Going back to the 80s. That was a fun one.
Yeah, it's always fun to play Edmonton, especially when you win.
Yeah, well, Flame, I don't know what's the record with the Edmonton Flames. I think it's pretty even. I think the battle for Alberta has been pretty even.
Yeah, I think the last few years Edmonton's actually done quite well against us.
Hand, yeah.
Not this season, but
no, not this season.
And we did it again. The Flames beat a team, and within a week, someone from their management group is fired.
Oh.
Peter Chiarelli.
Should we salute?
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that.
We're just warming up the cannon here, but I just think it's such an interesting trend. There's been 6 major firings, 4 coaches, 2 managers this season, and 4 of them were within a week of the Flames beating their team.
Love it. I hope that trend continues.
Yeah, me too. I hope we play Columbus one more time and Torts gets the boot.
I don't know, with Columbus been playing better. I don't know if Torrell's going to get booted anytime soon.
Yeah, I think he's safe, but...
Anyways, to recap the Edmonton game, it was a strong performance by Calgary. They were playing tight and organized. A response from the Detroit game, which was very sloppy. Bennett showing some good signs, hustling hard. Goudreau, I think he opened the scoring for Calgary in the second. Shot from Lindholm. Giordano picks up a point. Shillington.
Yeah. With Shillington on my mind, there's been talk that Valimaki is getting healthy, and I just want to get your opinion on what would you do once Valimaki's healthy?
See, with Shillington playing good, man, it really makes you wonder a little bit more, because Valimaki was good. He was good with the Anderson too, right from the get-go. But so was Shillington. Yeah,
so it might be recency bias. You remember the player you've seen most recently, but I think right now I prefer Shillington. I think Valimaki, if you look like long-term career-wise, he might have a higher ceiling than Shillington does. He's a little younger and he's will mature probably into a better defenseman.
How old do you think Shillington is?
I think he's in his early 20s.
21.
He's 21. And how old's Valimaki?
19.
I have it here. I can check the age. Let's see. UC Valimaki. He's 20.
Yeah, okay.
So they're pretty close in age.
Yeah, pretty close in age.
But if you look at the stats this year, Shillington's played 26 games. He's got 5 points plus 2. Valimaki's played 22 games. He's got 2 points minus 3. So not too much difference between them. Valimaki played at the start of the year when the Flames weren't as strong. But I just think Shillington, the speed and the offensive upside, it's good on a third pairing.
Yeah.
So I would personally just let Valimaki go play in the minors for a while, and you see what happens. Somebody else gets hurt or Shillington slows down. You never know. But
yeah, and you never know what Peter's going to do. He loves moving players around. My feeling is Valimaki's, they're going to want to give him some NHL time before a playoff start. And really the only one you can change out is Shillington.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you wait for him to get cold, or you say, hey, let's try Valimaki for a couple starts?
Or maybe just do a rotation.
Yeah.
That's possible too. The Flames have enough points. They can do a little experimenting because they've got a pretty good lead in their division.
Yeah. Man, and we didn't even talk about that, but they are winning the Pacific by, I think, at least 5 points now. So not only are they hanging on to that top spot, they're creating some cushion.
Yeah, exactly. They're pulling away from San Jose and Vegas, which is kind of unbelievable because San Jose and Vegas have been quite hot.
Yeah.
And the Flames have been even hotter.
Red hot Flames.
Red hot Flames, yes.
Oh, yes, that Edmonton victory was good. I touched a little bit before on how the Detroit game was a little sloppy. Smith was in net, and that always causes some concern.
Yeah, you can count on at least one goal going under the arm. At least one.
Especially with the Flames playing sloppy. But for the most part, Smith had a decent game. Covering up for, say, the skaters' faults, I would say.
Yeah, yes, Smith was good. And again, a good third period really buoyed us. We scored 4 in the third to pull away at the end, which is when you're a skilled team, it's what you do. You kind of keep it close till the third, and then you just ramp it up and win it.
Bennett had a game-winning goal, I believe.
Yeah, 2 goals and a sweet muzzy to boot.
Yeah, so it's an example of Bennett not scoring when the Flames are way up or way down.
Yeah, that's true.
Scoring a clutch goal. I think Neal scored the first or second, which was pretty clutch. Brody on the board, along with Monahan and Giordano, who is now rise to the Norris center point talks.
Yeah, he's the leader. If you were to give out the trophy right now, he'd probably be the favorite.
Yeah, and this had been trending well. We've been watching the Flames since the beginning of the season, so we knew how good he was. But now everyone else in the media are turning their eye towards him.
And one crazy stat about the Flames, Gio, he's leading the league in plus minus, which is probably one of the reasons he's favorite for the Norris. But the Flames actually have the top 4 plus minuses in the league. You've got Brody, Lindholm, and now Backlund.
Yeah.
So I've never cheered for a Flames team that had 4 guys top plus minus. But I guess if you're going to be leaders in the Pacific, that's one of the stats that'll happen.
Yeah. It goes with just some hot playing. Some really strong playing.
Like, we've been watching Flames for 20 some years maybe. Have you ever remembered a season where the going into the All-Star break, you were this hopeful?
Going into the All-Star break last year, I was pretty hopeful. But that's when it all went wrong. Prior to that, it's got to be that first year with Hartley.
But even that season, we weren't going into the All-Star break as a favorite.
No, but we were pretty high in the Pacific.
Yeah. I think... No,
second, maybe.
Yeah, we played Vancouver in the first round, but we were the away team. So we weren't even the highest seed.
Yeah. But still, this is a marquee year.
Definitely.
Come this far.
And just to put it in perspective, if we look at the league, we're second in points.
We have 71 points.
71. Only Tampa's above us with 76.
Yeah.
Our goals for is second in the league.
Yeah.
Again, just behind Tampa. We have 190 goals for. And if you compare that to like some of the bottom teams like LA, they've only have 113. So we've almost got double as many goals.
No, it looks pretty blue skies from here. So then the big question is, can they come back from the All-Star break and pick up right where they left off? And then the other thing you touched on last week, will Rick be a consistent number one guy? And
looking at the stats again, that's sort of the area of concern. Yeah. Because we look at goals against versus the league. Where would you think we are? From 1 to 31.
Middle pack.
We're 21st.
21st, so it's pretty low.
Yeah, we're actually outside. If you think like 16 teams are playoff teams type of thing, we're outside of that 16. So if the Flames are going to look at an area of concern,
it's tightening up. And we saw that in the Detroit game, getting real sloppy. Detroit walks out with 4 points, so 4 goals on Smith. Edmonton was a good response by only giving up 2, but I think Carolina was even better because Carolina poured on the shots and Rick stayed strong in good position. And Flames tightened up around him. Let him dig shots, get that rebound out.
Yeah, that's right. In the short term, we're trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
So we'll see after All-Star break if we can, keep the offense going but be a little better defensively.
Yeah. And really not hit. I mean, the last year, just the wall that we hit was just so heartbreaking with Smith playing bad and just seeing the rest of the team. Of course, there was those injury. There were speculation at the time that came out to be true. The first top line was pretty banged up with Ferland and Monahan.
Yeah, I think Monahan had like 4 surgeries last year.
So, assuming that everyone stays healthy and comes out strong through the All-Star break, I have a good feeling.
Knock on wood. Everyone staying healthy, that's a key.
Damn straight.
So I think it's a good time for us to take another trip to meet another mascot.
All right. Hello.
So today we travel to Colorado and meet their mascot, Bernie the St. Bernard. Bernie, the newest mascot of the Colorado Avalanche, debuted October 3rd, 2009 in Denver, Colorado. Bernie's jersey is marked with a bone that resembles the number 1. True to his breed, Bernie is devoted to his team as a symbol of integrity, strength, and loyalty. Beware of drool, it is unavoidable.
Yeah, I'm not all in agreed with this new St. Bernard.
Why St. Bernard?
Because he rescues people from mounds, from avalanches.
But that's like against your name. It's like the Flames having a mascot that's a firefighter.
Yeah. Unless he's a St. Bernard that kills people who didn't die in the avalanche. Or who is partially injured and then he gives the death blow.
Looking at his pictures, he does not seem like that type of mascot.
It's another Howler syndrome, where it's just an anthropomorphic happy face. Cuddly, happy, not great.